April 14th, 2025. 2 years after opening a game engine for the first time, I released my very first game demo on Steam. I had crunched for 2 weeks to get my demo ready for Steam Next Fest, and I had high expectations. I hit the Publish App button, dropped the trailer, and then... nothing. A total flop. But 1 month later, that same demo ended up multiplying my wishlist numbers by 10. Hi everyone, I'm Julian, solo dev at Radbit Games. Today I wanted to share the story of my very first demo launch, how I prepared for it, how the release completely flopped, and what brought it back from the dead. I'll talk about how it affected both my game's visibility and my mental health, the mistakes I made, the lessons I learned, and how it changed the long-term trajectory of the project. So sit back, relax, and let me take you through the wild ride of my first demo launch. October 2024. My current project at the time, Hidden Tactics, had come to a full stop. It had been 4 full weeks without any progress because of a network bug I simply couldn't fix. I didn't have the networking skills, and at that point my motivation was at its lowest. Around that time I was scrolling through the itch.io assets, as I like to do, and I stumbled upon one idea. One that completely drew me away from Hidden Tactics. I made the hard decision to abandon this project and open up a new chapter with the development of a new game, the Ember Guardian. This time I wasn't going to make the same mistakes. First of all, no multiplayer. I know it sounds obvious for most of you, but I can't stress enough how important that is, especially for new game devs. I even made a whole video about it. I also aimed for a smaller scope. This new project was supposed to be completed in 6 months. And lastly, I made sure I was building something with a clear target audience to actually have a shot at making decent sales. The Ember Guardian is a Kingdom-like. If you've ever played and enjoyed any game in the Kingdom series, you'll feel right at home with this one. But it also brings the breath of fresh air. See, in Kingdom you're a monarch in a medieval world, riding your mountain, dropping coins to recruit units, command them, and build your stronghold. It's a minimalistic experience that I personally love. But in the Ember Guardian you play a lone wanderer in a post-apocalyptic world that can actually wield futuristic weapons, bringing in shooting mechanics and way more tension. So whether you finished all the Kingdom games and you're craving for something similar but new, or if you played just a few hours of Kingdom and you thought, this is not for me, it's too passive, you're exactly the kind of player I'm targeting. Check out the Steam page in the description now. And considering the success of Kingdom, I felt like I was positioning my game in a strong and identifiable niche. After a week writing a game design document, thing I hadn't done in my first project, and I highly recommend to do so, it really helps on the long run, I jumped straight into development. I'll skip the first few months, including how I scope creeped from a 6-month project to a full year project, and jump straight to the end of March 2024. That's when I released the game's Steam page and my announcement trailer, which actually did decently well. A week later, the Ember Guardian had 800 wishlists, which was already better than my first game ever did. So yeah, that felt like a real success. After that first marketing beat, wishlist dropped to a base rate of 5 to 10 per day. At that point, I was fully committed to getting a demo ready for Steam Next Fest in June, so I started crunching. I gathered a few playtesters thanks to this YouTube channel, and we started polishing the experience. By the way, shout out to all of you who gave feedback, it really played an important role in the demo's success. So here was the release plan. Drop a new demo trailer, reach out to creators... Oh merde, c'est pas le bon... So here was the release plan. Drop a new demo trailer, reach out for streamers, and wait for their coverage. And I had a bonus. Pen, the creator of most of the game's assets, was planning to play the game and make a video out of it. That brings us to April 14th, demo release day. Pen had already released his video the day before, and it was performing well, which was already reflected in the wishlist numbers. So I clicked the Publish App button on Steam and dropped the new trailer. If you've ever released a game or a demo before, maybe you felt the same way. I had worked like crazy the past weeks, my heart was racing, I was stressed out of my mind. You click that button and then... nothing. Nothing happens. You're still sitting at your desk, alone, and you just go grab a coffee. That was a weird thing to experience. A few comments popped up on YouTube. People seemed excited, some had already tried the demo and enjoyed it, but something was off. The trailer just didn't land the way I hoped. Maybe it was the thumbnail, maybe the title, maybe the trailer just didn't have a strong enough hook, probably a combination of all of that. Meanwhile, I was reaching out to content creators, YouTubers or streamers that had played similar games like Kingdom, Dome Keeper or Drillcore. Since the Ember Guardian shares similar vibe, I figured they might enjoy it too. Two small creators did cover the game, which brought a second spike in the wishlists, but 10 days after the demo launch, that marketing beat was clearly over, and the demo's impact on the wishlist was a barely 600 wishlists. That's when I started to lose hope. Not a single reply from any of the more than 40 streamers I had reached out to. The trailer was buried, and wishlists were stagnating at around 40 per day, which can sound good when out of any marketing beat, but in this case I was still right in the middle of my demo launch, which is like one of the major events in a game's life. I tried to refocus on the main game's development, but honestly I felt terrible. And then out of nowhere, a YouTuber named Idle Cub, which I hadn't contacted, released a video about my demo.
Hello everyone, Cap here and welcome to the Ember Guardian. This game is a post-apocalyptic spin on the game Kingdom, a side-scrolling resource management and base defense game with some beautiful high-quality pixel art. Let's check this out.
The video got 11,000 views. 24 hours later, boom, plus 240 wishlists. I felt hope coming back, so I went back to digging and looking for new creators, and that work paid off. The same day, on April 30th, a YouTuber called Zuelgene dropped a new video, 1.5 thousand views. Then Fraz, 2,000 views, and finally Avak, 10,000 views. That second wave of coverage brought over 700 new wishlists, and I was honestly thrilled. My partner and I had planned a short van trip to help me disconnect, going out in the wild, hiking, cycling, playing board games. But I ended up spending most of the time watching their video, taking notes on what went wrong and how to improve my demo. I even sent one last batch of emails before going to bed. So much for taking a break. And this last round of emails actually paid off. 2 days later, I open YouTube, type in the Ember Guardian to check out if any new video had been released. And I stumble upon a new video from Splattercat Gaming. This one was posted just a few hours ago and it already had
20,000 views.
I start freaking out a bit, launched the video stressed out, hoping everything went well in this playthrough.
What's up guys and gals, welcome back to the Nerd Castle.
And thankfully it did. Fun fact, I used to watch Splattercat Gaming before I started game dev, so having my game featured in his channel felt like a real accomplishment. And the next day, 1,400 new wishlists. This single video had a massive impact. In 3 days, I had 3,000 new wishlists. That's just crazy. In the days that follow, other streamers, some I had never contacted, start picking up the game and releasing their videos. Others I had reached out to finally begin dropping theirs too. So if you're an indie dev watching this, here's one of the main lessons I learned from this demo release process. Don't lose hope when you send dozens of emails and hear nothing back. Most content creators are swamped. They receive tens of emails each day. They rarely answer, which is totally understandable. And if they're interested, they'll often post their video 1, 2, even 3 weeks later. That delay doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Also, sending out keys for the demo before actually publishing it might be a good idea to synchronize their videos with the demo release. As of now, the initial demo launch beat is over. The game is holding steady at around 20 wishlists per day, which is much higher than before the demo, where I was sitting at 5 to 10 per day. And every now and then, a new stream or video pops up, giving the game a fresh visibility boost. Beyond the numbers, watching streamers play has been incredibly useful. Streamers are gaming professionals and are really good at saying out loud how they feel about the game and what should be improved. I learned a ton from that, spotted some issues.
Definitely recruit some hunters. We need all of this. Okay. Yes, let's give all of our guys
and improve the game accordingly. Oh, also a quick word about Steam Next Fest. I was planning to join the June edition, but shout out to Chris from How to Market a Game for their invaluable advice.
This is the #1 rule. Do not launch your demo as part of Next Fest. Next Fest is the last of it. It's the end of your game.
If the Ember Guardian sounds like something you'd enjoy, feel free to add it to your wishlist and go try out the demo. I just reworked the shooting mechanics and would love to get your feedback. And if you're a dev going through a slow launch or a quiet demo drop, don't give up. It might take longer than you expect, but if your game is good and there's an audience for it, creators will show up. It can work. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll share a bunch of resources down below in the comments that helped me out through the demo creation and release process. See you soon on the next video. Ratbit Games signing off.